further to art and illustration. So under art and illustration, one thing is some of the paper sizes here are basically used for social media purposes or for illustration purposes. So if you click on the 1000 pixels grid here, it's been demonstrated here. You can see it here. It's been displayed here. Sorry. So if you click inside and you set it to inches, it's just 3.3 by 3.3. It's a square size. So one thing I've realized about this square size is when you use it for any social media flyer, it's kind of unique. You can easily use it for your WhatsApp profile. Everything will fit without a portion being cut off. So most at times the square sizes flyers can easily be reduced to social media purposes and it's helpful. So if you go to 2000 pesos, that one too, the same thing applies. You can use it, you can utilize it. And we have poster here. The poster is 18 by 24. That one automatically it is set to inches at 300 ppi. This one simply means pixels per inch you see here. So the 300 here is the resolution you see here. And if you click on this one, the same 300 is being demonstrated here. So it's the same resolution. Most of the papers, when you create it new, the resolution is set to 300 unless you wish to change it to any reason. But I would advise always keep it at 300 unless you are creating something that is more of a bigger size, like maybe something like 4 feet by 5 feet, 3 feet by something feet. When feet start coming inside and maybe your machine is not all that fast, that one you can reduce the resolution to 100 so that you can work fast. Then let's move to web. But before we move to web, let me do a quick refreshment on the print and photo. How do you create any paper size in the print? So this is our A4. If you want to create A4 size, once you click on it, look, create is down here. Just click on it and then your A4 size is created. So this is A4 size. So you can use it for any document. You can use it for any design you want to, or depending on what the client has given to you. Maybe the client has given you a particular size you have to use for that particular design. How do you then go back? You switch to home. Then you go back. You want to create a new paper size. What do you do? It's either you go to file, new, or shortcut is Control N. And besides that, we have create new here. So just hit on create new and it will give you access to pick any paper size you want. And also remember that we don't have the A0, A1, A2 paper sizes. We don't have B0, B1, B2 paper sizes in Photoshop. We don't have C0, C1, C2 paper sizes there. Those paper sizes are not part. But in case you have any project and you want to design within that particular range, the best thing to do is Google to see that particular size. That is it. It's not anything difficult. If you want A0 size, the A0 is bigger than A2. A2 is also bigger than A3. A1 is bigger than A2. That is it. A0 is bigger than A1. A1 is bigger than A2. A2 is bigger than A3 in that order. So if you want to create any additional paper size, if you get to the print and then we have A3 here, you want to create A3 paper size the same way like the way we created A4. Maybe here you want the A3 to be on landscape format, so the orientation have to change. You just click here, you click to change the orientation. Maybe you may like to change the measurement unit as well. You click and then you set it to inches. Now you hit on create. So the moment you hit on create, look, that one too is created. So this is our A3 size. This is our A3 size. So let's go back and create another paper size. Let's go back. So once we have access to create another paper size, let me go to photo. Now we have the default Photoshop size, which is 7 by 5. And the same size is what you can observe here. So if you want to create this default Photoshop size, what we do is, look, the orientation is set to landscape. So I want us to change it to portrait. So you hit on this particular icon here, then you create. So right now we have the width being 5 and the height being 7. That is what you see on your screen. So how do you then close all these tabs? We've learned it earlier on how to get started with Adobe Photoshop. So you click on the thumbs here or the multiplication icon here, just click on it to clear it once, click on this one too to clear it once. So let's go back and continue with other paper sizes. Now we have the web type, we have the web aspect of the paper sizes. So let's move to web. So when you go to web, one thing is, as the name implies, is used for website purposes. Now, how is this paper sizes used? Now, those that are into software development and others, and those that are into front-end development, UI, UX, that is it, user interface designs. So they use this particular paper sizes and they use it a lot. How do they use it? Maybe you are not into website and other things, so you don't even need it now. But those that are into UI UX design, user interface and user experience design, they use this particular forum here. So Photoshop is a whole lot. So you can use Photoshop for your website designs. That is one aspect of Adobe Photoshop. You can use it for your website design. So let me drag a project on web paper size, how it's being used. So let me close here. It seems like I have a project on desktop. Let me bring one of I think I have here web. So let me drag this particular project inside Photoshop and you see how the web. So this is one aspect of the web paper sizes. It's displayed as artboard 1, artboard 2 in that order. So let me scroll and then you see the first aspect that I'm talking about. So this is the first aspect. This is the first aspect. So this is how it is. So these are the web aspect of Photoshop paper sizes. So we use it for UI UX design. You can use it for your website design, the front end. Afterwards, then you start coding originally. So I used Photoshop for this particular project before I started coding inside. So it's not all that much. I'm not done with it. I'm still on it. So you can use the web aspect of the paper sizes to come out with your UI designs perfectly. That's one aspect of Adobe Photoshop, how to use the web paper sizes. So if you are not into web development or if you are not into front-end development, don't worry yourself with those particular paper sizes. We have mobile. So the mobile too is the same thing applies to the web. If you get to the mobile, that one too, the paper sizes, you can use it for mobile designs. Yes, you can use it for mobile design. We have iPhone, we have iPad Pro, we have iPad Pro 10.5 inch. Microsoft Surface Pro, iPhone 5. So that one too, it has a lot of paper sizes. iOS, iPod, Pad, icon. So if I want to do any UI UX design for like maybe a mobile app, these are the sizes I will go for because I want the app to fit within a mobile space. I will come here and select a particular mobile size and start design. So if you are not into maybe front end development or you are not, UI UX designer, don't worry yourself to select mobile and a web. It's not for you. You can leave it. Just concentrate on your photo, print, art, and illustration. That is enough. We have film and video. You know that you can easily use Adobe Photoshop for video editing. Yes, we have film and video. I will not talk about it now. You don't need it now. So that one too is another aspect. So I will not touch it. So right now, I want us to move to one aspect that is very important. How to easily check any size of a document. So let me go to this particular project that I was working on. It's a pharmaceutical project that I'm working on, 3D design. So on this particular, provided maybe you are being given a project to, it's a sample to look up to and design the same thing, but you don't know the size. And maybe the client says, go by the size on that particular sample. How do you do it? How do you even get to know the size? That's the most important thing. So on this particular project here, how do I check the size? I have created it already, but maybe when I was creating it, it seems like maybe at the interface level, I've forgotten of the size. I really want to know the size. How do I know it? So I'll go to image tab. Then I have image size. So the moment you click on image size, look, the size for this particular project is being displayed. So I have 120 by 36. So the width is 120 and then the height is 36. So you could see that this one is costume size because this particular size is not A1, neither is it A0. It's not within the A, B, and C paper sizes. This is totally costume paper size. Look at the resolution. The resolution is 72. Why did I keep the resolution to 72? Because of the size. The size is large. So if you keep the resolution to 300, the image size here, 64.1 megabyte, it will increase. And the higher the size of your document, trust me, your project will slow down. Your machine will slow down. It will disturb you. So because I went for a bigger size for this particular project, as requested by the client, all that I can do is just to reduce the size of the resolution. I just have to reduce the resolution so that I can work on that particular project fast. Now, how was I able to get this 120 and 36? I have explained it earlier that 12 inches is equal to 1 feet. So this particular size you see here is 36. The height of this particular document is 36. And then the width is 120. So the 36 here means that 3 feet. So 3 times 12 will give you 36. And what will give me 12 times what figure will give me 120? 12 times what figure will give me 120? 12 times what figure? Can you guess? Maybe you can do your calculation. So it means that this particular project you see here is 3 by 10 feet. That is it. 3 by 10 feet, 120, 3 by 10 feet. So that is how you can get your feet projects done in Adobe Photoshop. So if a client give you a particular work and it's not within the A, B, and C paper sizes, let not that work disturb you. Just create your costume size depending on what the client will give you. That is enough. So if the client say, I want a banner of size 10 feet by 20 feet, you just do your calculation. 10 feet by 20 feet, then 10 times 12 will give me what? 20 times 12 will give me what? Then you use the size. That is how you can easily use feet in Adobe Photoshop. Now, let me show you another way of checking the paper sizes. How do you check the paper sizes? So once I have the document in Adobe Photoshop, let me zoom in for you to see. So this is the document. Now, if you come to the end portion of the document here, where the cursor is, where the pointer, you could see where the pointer is. So the moment I place the pointer, you could see that there is a white cursor on top of the yellow, the zero number, the zero you see on the ruler. So these are our rulers. I did not talk about it. These are the rulers, and the rulers here are used to check the various sizes of our documents in Adobe Photoshop. So these rulers here, you can use it to check size of any project you are working on. So right now what we are doing now is I want us to use the rulers to check the size of this project without going to image size and other places to check it. So what I want you to understand is the moment you see any work in Adobe Photoshop and you have access to the rulers, if your rulers is not showing, please, the shortcut is Ctrl R or Command R. If you're using MacBook, you can press Command R. If you're using Windows, you can press Ctrl R, and then the rulers will be activated. You get it back. That is it. So if your rulers are showing like what I have here, and you want to know the actual size of the document you are working on, what you do is place the pointer at the end. Look, you see a white cursor on top of the zero. That is the starting point of the actual measurement. That is the starting point. So the zero here is 0 inches. Here is 2 inches. Here is 4 inches. Why is it inches? Maybe yours is not like this. Maybe yours is at centimeters. So what you do is you right click on the ruler. Look, I have set my rulers to inches. It means I can change it to centimeters, millimeters, and others. But because I like working in the inches range, I have set my rulers to inches, and my document dimension too, I always set it to inches. And that one helps me a lot. But please, if your document is set to centimeters and you come here to set it to millimeters, you are going to struggle with it. So always set it to one particular unit and it will help you. So let's detect the size of this particular document here by the ruler. Now we have 0 here at the end of the document. So I want us to scroll. I want us to scroll to the end of the document. I want us to scroll. Let's scroll. Now this is the end of the document. Look. So the moment I drag the pointer to the end, You see that white cursor is on 120, which is 120, and that is the size you saw over there when we use the image to detect the size, 120. So here the ruler has given us just a simple clarification of how to check any document size in Adobe Photoshop without going to the image size. That is one particular aspect. How do we get the height? How do we then get the height? So let's go back to the end of the project. How do we get the height? Then let's scroll. So if you bring it here, the white cursor you see is not only displayed on the horizontal ruler, the vertical ruler too is being displayed. So if you put it at the end of your document, that white cursor is being displayed on both the horizontal ruler and the vertical ruler. So on the vertical side, you will see 0 here. You will see 0, and then you see 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 0, 1, 2. So the 1, 0 here means 10. 1, 2 here means 12. 1, 4 here means 14. So that 1, 2 is in that order. So this is how we are going to detect the height of this document. We have 0. Then let's scroll to the end of the document. So let me scroll. So this is the end of the document. So the moment I put the pointer at the end here, look, it's on what? 36, which is 36. 36, which is 36. So that is another way to detect the size of any document you don't have any idea about. Maybe a client gave you that particular project to display it and he wants you to check the size. So this is the basic way to check any document size. Let me drag in maybe another project and then we look at the size, because most of the projects I've been working on are on costume sizes, different distance. Those particular sizes are not found within the sizes are not found within the A, B, and C paper sizes. So let me bring this one here. What I brought in earlier is not completed. Let me change this particular. I want some simple project to show you something. Mobile age. Okay, let me bring this one. Mobile age 2. Okay, so I think this is the current project I did yesterday for a client. So let me open inside. Let me open again. I want the width to widen. You hold Alt and then you scroll your mouse gently. So now on this particular project, look, this is the end of our paper size. From here to the end is the width. From the 0 to the end here is the width. So this one too, how do we detect it? By the ruler. So the moment I put my pointer at the end of the design, the moment I put my mouse pointer at the left top corner, you will see that there's a white blinking cursor on the 0. If I bring it to the end of the right top corner there, you will see that there is some white blinking cursor on the 36. This one is clearly telling you that your document has a width of 36 inches because the document dimension is already set to inches. So from the 0 to 36 here is 36 inches. Let's scroll down and check the height. Now from the top to the down, so the left corner here, what you see is the moment you put it at the end, look, is on the 60. That white blinking cursor is on the 60, telling you that the height is 60 inches. The height is 60 inches. And all these are costume sizes. You can see that these are not found within the A, B, and C paper sizes. These ones are not found within that range. So this is just 3x5 banner. 3x5 banner. A client requested 3x5 banner. Sorry. So the 3x5 banner means 36 by 60 inches. That is it. So you don't have to chew distance. Just put it in your mind that 12 inches is equal to 1 feet. Therefore, anytime you want to design anything and it's within feet range, just do your conversion. That is all. If the person say, please, I want 20 feet by 80 feet, just take your 12 and multiply by 20 and get your width. 12 and multiply by 80 and get your height. That is all. Any measurement the client give you, don't be frustrated to get the size. So this is one aspect or one way to detect the size of any paper you come across or any document you come across in Adobe Photoshop. let me drag in another project, maybe a flyer, some simple flyer, and then we check that one to the paper size. So let's check the paper size of this particular flyer here. Now, how do we get the paper size of this particular? So you could see that this one is in a square format. You could see that it's in a square format because we wanted to use it for both social media and a printout. So in this square format, how do we detect the size? Let me zoom in again. Let me zoom in widely. Thank you. So this is the end of the design. Now, when we put the mouse pointer at the left top corner, you could see that white cursor is blinking on the 0. And if we bring it to the right corner, the top there, you could see that it's around 4 point something. Look, it's around 4.3. 4.3. That is it. So let's scroll it down. Now let's bring it to the height. The N here is the same thing, 4.3 or 4.2. So if you are not sure of the point, what you do is go to image size, then let's see, 4.2, that's it. So the size is 4.2 by 4.2 square size. Look at the resolution. Because I'm using 4.2 by 4.2, you see it's a small size. So if I put the resolution to 300, I may experience some kind of pixels around my text. And I really need the text to be sharp like what you are seeing here. Look at the 31st night, everything is showing. So I wanted it to be sharp enough. That is why I use 500 resolution, because the higher your resolution, the more quality you get on your document, provided it's a small size document. Don't go and use 500 resolution on a work that is within feet range. I beg you. You blast your screen, it will spoil your screen. Don't do that. Don't try that. That's one particular aspect. So this is how you can easily detect any paper sizes, and this is how you can easily create a paper size for your project, any project that you want to work on. How to get started? You have to create a paper size. You have to create a particular paper size. Somebody will say, sir, a client said I should design a birthday flyer. He said a birthday flyer, just go for your square format. You can put 4 by 4 inches. You can put any square size inches. Create it and then start designing. Master, a client said I should do A4 poster. A4 is already there in A, B, and C papers. Go and click on it. Create it. The client want A3. Go and create it. He said he want 4 by 4, which is square size. It means that 4 feet by 4 feet. So if a client say I want 4 by 4, ask the client, please, is it 4 by 4 feet or 4 by 4 inches? Because it's not the same. If it is 4 by 4 feet, it means that it's something that is big. Maybe a big banner. They want to use it for a program. But if they say 4 by 4 inches, it means that it's something small for maybe social media purposes. So you always have to ask before you start your project, and it's very important. So this is basically how you can easily get access to different and various paper sizes in Adobe Photoshop. Please, if you find this video helpful, what I want you to do is kindly comment with the questions you have so that we will attend to you. And I would like you to share the video to other groups. I will see you at the next video. Have a nice day.